everybody, Danny Maud here. Thanks for joining us. This week I have a takeaway fix for you with a slight twist. It comes with a bonus of a release fix as well. I found I was coaching a couple of clients this week. One of them was his name was Ant, and he was really struggling with his backswing. He was really taking it around the corner, and we were able to not only fix this with a very simple exercise, it made a massive difference also to his release, and we're going to share with you this week exactly what we did and how we did it. Before we do, if you're new to the channel and you haven't seen any of my content before, consider subscribing. We release simple tips and drills every single week to help your game. So let's have a look. So what Ant was doing was, when he'd take the club back, he would basically take the club way inside, right? So he would come around the corner. He would then loop the club around, so he had a poor takeaway and as a byproduct, a poor release. Now I see this all the time when I'm coaching. Very strange looking swings with loops and chops and you name it. But when I ask people to throw things and throw balls, they don't do that, right? So if I ask you to throw a ball, do you think you'd do this? If I asked you to throw a ball, stand in a golf stance to make it kind of similar to the game. If I asked you to stand like this and I asked you to throw a ball, would you do this? It'd look weird, wouldn't it, right? And nobody does. So what I want to do is, what I did with Ant is, right, come on Ant, let's just pick a target out just in front of you. I want you to take your golf stance as you would do normally. Take the club in your right hand. And what I want you to do is simply just start to practice swinging. Now, would he throw a ball like this? No. Where's the target? It's out there, right? So there's a natural movement. Just imagine you're throwing a ball to the target here. Okay? Backwards and forwards. And you're throwing a ball to the target. What do you notice about my hand path? Would it make any sense to take that hand around here? Not really. Would it make any sense to take it out there and do this type of loop? It wouldn't, would it, right? So with that in mind, I said, right, what's going on? So we said, like, let's take your club now just in your right hand. We won't hit any golf balls yet. We need to perfect this takeaway. And we want to keep it really, really simple. So go down the grip with your right hand. Do exactly the same thing. I want you to now make a swing and start to let the club head act as almost like your hand, and you're simply throwing the weight of the club back up here and through. You're throwing it towards a target here. Now, Ant's first response was, this feels a bit strange. He gripped hold of for dear life the golf club here, and he really wasn't swinging the club head now. Now it was just one long arm movement here. If you look at this position here, the arm was swinging backwards and forwards, and that's not what we're really after. What I said was, when you throw a ball, your wrists are passive. Yeah, you don't hold it stiff, you don't hold it tight. There's a softness to what you're doing, right? And the wrists are passive and they react to the swinging of the arm. And I want that to continue when you do the one-handed swing with the golf club. So what I want you to do is, you're going to allow the wrists now to swing passive. That allows the head to swing backwards and forwards on the line that you want to swing, right? So we started with that. So we then said, okay, now let's scale up, right? Let's scale it up and let's start to hit some balls, just one-handed, just there, letting the club swing backwards and forwards towards the target, right? And we started to do that. Now, occasionally, Ant found this a little bit tricky in the sense that this was perfect now, but on the way through, he'd grab hold of it. He was nervous. He was concerned about whether he's going to strike it or not. Don't worry about that. One of the key things is this: if you throw a ball, do you suddenly go grab? You don't, right? There's a softness to what you're doing, right? And that's one of the aims of this. If you can let that club and the wrist be passive here and allow it to swing backwards and forwards and start to throw it in this direction, then suddenly you'll get a very natural release of the club through the impact area. Also, as I'm doing this, what do you notice about my body? Is my body staying dead still? Absolutely not. Why? Because he wouldn't do that if we were throwing a ball. You don't throw a ball like this. Okay, you throw it towards a target. And that brings me now to the second thing I want to bring to your attention. The throwing action here helps the backswing, yes. But what's leading this? the body and our actions are led and being informed by what we're trying to do out there, right? We aren't stood here now thinking of a million things and how to swing a golf club backwards and forwards. What we're doing is we've picked a target out and we're allowing the target to inform our body action. We want to go in that direction, so we swing it back this direction. If we're going to go in that direction, do we want to do this? It makes no sense, does it? But I see that all the time when people are swinging. I don't know if you're the same. So I wonder why that is. If you're stood over the golf ball here thinking of a million things and that target becomes a distant memory, it's no surprise that weird stuff like this happens, because this target is no longer leading your swing. So let's go back to it. So we're swinging the club now, right? We're letting the target help us, and we're swinging this club backwards and forwards towards our target. Then I said, look, come on, let's get the second hand in now, right? And all we're going to do now is allow the club to swing backwards and forwards, and we're going to throw the club towards our target here. Still no big shots, just getting a sense of what we're doing, just throwing it down there, nothing more complicated than that. Okay, taking a swing backwards and forwards and just throwing the head towards where we want it to go. So let's summarize. What have we done? We said, look, if you are struggling to consistently get the backswing on the line that you want, and you want something that you could probably take to a golf course pretty quickly, then this is going to be really, really effective. If you take a golf ball in your right hand and just imagine throwing it, get a feel for that, pick a target out, go in your garden, just get a feel for what you're doing, right? Then take a club in your right hand. Don't rush to hit golf balls to start off with. Just take a club in your right hand and just imagine again throwing the club head, just allow it to swing nice and freely towards your target. Once you've got a feel for that, same thing. Now take a golf ball, get yourself set and start to let the club swing through impact. Look at my balanced finish position here. The club's flowing through impact nicely. My hips have gone through, all because I'm trying to release through to the target. Watch out for this though. There's a couple of things you need to be aware of. If you get tight, none of this will work. Just as you won't be able to throw a ball if you're stiff-wristed. Keep in mind what's creating this motion. What's happening? The target is informing my body. I'm not stood there with a million swing thoughts thinking about how I'm going to hit this golf ball. The target is getting me to swing and turn my body through impact. For those of you who stand over a golf ball with a million one swing thoughts, you'll often find this ball and striking the ball becomes the most important thing, and in the end the target is a distant memory. What tends to happen then is you tend to be static over the golf ball looking like this. We don't want that. That leads to poor rhythm, poor follow throughs, poor strike. What do we want instead? We want a swing that collects the golf ball on the way, very similar to throwing, right? That when you throw a ball you only have one target. When you play golf, we have two. We have a ball and a target. We collect this one while we move to our primary target here, okay? So, in real quick summary, what have we done? We said, look, if you want to improve your takeaway and your release, we've got to get into a situation where basically you keep this natural. We swing the club back and we swing it through. We start to get the club swinging back here and releasing through the impact area. Start off by just throwing a ball initially, get a feel for that. So we're going to take a ball, throw it forward, get a feel for what you're doing. Then just simply take the club in your right hand, do the same thing again, get a release, feel that release going through. Then be brave, take on hitting a golf ball, right? When you first start, you might find that you're holding a little bit tight and you're a bit jabby and grabby. Don't with it, go with it. You might not strike it to start off with. Be patient with this, right? It's not easy initially, but really go with it. Once you're ready, bring two hands on. Don't rush to a full swing at this stage. The same principle. All we're going to do here is keep it small and just allow that club to swing through. Once you're ready and you've hit a few of them, again, don't rush into this. Then start to extend it just a little bit more, continuing to allow that throw motion, okay? And you should find, as we did with Ant and Ned this week, you should find that you start to increase the quality of your backswing, the effortless in terms of how much power you're getting. And it's so much fun, so much easier to play. So if you enjoyed this training and you think someone else might enjoy it too, don't forget to share it. And of course, look, if you're not receiving this in your inbox every week, consider heading over to my personal website, dannymore.com, and register up there, and you'll get this training in your inbox every single week. And of course, if you're on YouTube and you're watching it here, don't forget to press the subscribe button and the bell. But until next week, have a great golfing week.